Hi, and welcome to another daily devotion. Today I'm going to continue James chapter 1 and verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials. Today I want to speak about when it says here, when you fall into various trials. That word fall is not like, we just walking unsuspectly and we just fell like into a hole that we couldn't get out of. It's not really meaning that at all. That word fall, have a listen to this. It says when you fall into various trials, what it's speaking about is that when things just seem to fall all the way around us, that we're just being suffocated by that there's no way of escape to the natural eye or mind. And so it means to be totally surrounded by tests and trials. And here it's not referring to that there's just one incident that has risen up in the lives of the Christians. It's just saying that in the construction of the sentence, it's actually meaning that they're walking from one crisis to another, and they're just thinking, my goodness, is this what Christianity is about this persecution? And the reality is that if we are effectively preaching the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ, guess what? The devil is not going to wave his white flag, climb out of his hidey hole and say, I surrender and I give in, you can have all the people that you're ministering to. He's not going to do that. And so if you are effectively preaching the gospel, he's going to raise up against you persecution. And so this is the very thing that James is encouraging the Christians to keep on fighting, keep on doing. And he's saying, you know what, count it all joy when you fall into various trials. He's saying, even though it seems like you're totally surrounded and there's no way out, this joy, this awareness of God's grace and favor is going to get you through. And this is an amazing thing. It's speaking about identifying the occasion. This is an amazing thing. I've written a few things down here when it's speaking about when we fall into various trials. It's saying here that it's identifying the occasion as a means of moral and spiritual growth. Isn't that awesome? Maybe not. Yes, I think it's awesome. Identifying the occasion as a means of moral and spiritual growth. Now, really, that's something to be joyful about, really. And so it goes on. I've got some other things written down here. It says, we don't recognize in the trials themselves, but in the occasion, if we yield correctly, we will grow as Christians. It's all about growing in the things of God. I asked this knowledgeable, wise man, he just seemed to strike me as a man that walked closely with God, and he just walked in this wisdom, just a real sweet wisdom. And I asked him, I said, what was the place of learning for you, for this wisdom that you walk in? And he looked at me and he said, there's only one thing that answer I have for you, and it's simply this. He said, the things that I learned through going through tests and trials as a Christian, he said, this is what gave me the wisdom when I was, as he used the term, pinned to the wall at times. He said, I had no other way to go. And he said, and they were my best times when there weren't any other options, that he would find and search in the scriptures and to learn more about the character of God and how God works and operates, and how he as a Christian and as we as Christians are to function. And he said during these tests and trials, these were the things that caused him to grow. And, it was such an amazing moment just listening to what he had to say. So these tests and trials are not all bad for us. Anyway, join me again tomorrow and we'll continue James chapter 1. Until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.